Alright lads, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft Podcast. We are back again for yet another week. I just got back from holiday, so I'm a little bit out of practice, but I'm sure when I get talking to the guests today that I'll warm up to it. But yeah, so we're going quite strong at the moment. We've had a good few podcasts released and I have a good few guests I'm going to record with. And I'm keeping the momentum. I'm keeping the passion for it, so that would be nice. But today, we are joined with someone slightly different, not really a content creator, someone similar to a guest I've had previously. And I kind of forgotten what their position is, so we'll let them say it themselves. But I'm joined with Cam. They work for Cubecraft. Is that how I say it, Cam?
Yes. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm great. I've just been chilling at home, building some Lego. So that's basically what I've been doing for the last hour.
What Lego are you building?
Oh, so I got the as I'm quite a big fan of Marvel, so I got the Infinity Gauntlet, and then yesterday I went out and I found the Nano Gauntlet. So I was like, oh, cool. So I'm going to build both of them now, and then have either side of the TV or my TV stand. I can't put them on my bookshelf because I've got so many pop figures, and it's a problem.
How much progress have you made then?
Oh well, I technically the Gauntlet's split into three, and I've only done the first half. I've just started it, so because I got home like 2 hours ago.
That's not too bad though, is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I've never had Lego before, but I've seen like Lego around because or our office has loads of Lego, but I've never. I say that I was a big Lego kid when I was younger, but I've always been good at following the instructions, whilst like all my friends and like my brother have just been they're good at creatively building the Lego. So
yeah, so very different in the way to do it.
Yeah.
So I do remember what your position is, mainly because I scrolled back up in chat. But I'd rather you say it yourself just to make sure that it's said right. You know, it's better coming from you, because obviously with the previous guest I could just turn around and go, they're the owner, whereas you're not the owner. You have a very specific role. So what is that in Cubecraft?
So I'm the release manager for Cubecraft. So I basically make sure things go from start to finish. Well, it's more the end actually. So you got the creative directors, which is Luke and Rubik. They will come up with the ideas and give it to devs, and then just as the update's nearly finished, I'll go in and go, oh, this needs to be done, needs to be done, and then I'll get it released. Which ties into the my QA role. That I lead the QA team, so I make sure everything's tested and working. So and I dabble with customer support as well, and I help out with the community and volunteering management and player safety and partner recruitment. It's team ops. There you go. That's what it is. It's team ops. So it's just everywhere. I just help around and make sure things are flowing, you could say.
This is going to sound a bit silly in case I'm wrong, but QA, that's quality assurance, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, but quality assurance, bugs, testing, all that.
Okay, that's good then. So with that, basically, if like someone does something, like maybe releases an update or is ready to release an update, but you think it needs changing, is that you who turns around then and says like, this isn't, I guess, up to par and it needs to be done differently? Or
yeah. So if something's really broken or the user experience good, I wouldn't necessarily overrule it. So at the end of the day, it's the final decision is with the creative director. If I say this is fine, but the creative director's like, no, this is it, I'm like, sure, that's fine. But they're not gonna be like that because they're great at their jobs anyway. They, Luke and Rubik, they have built Cubecraft from the ground up, and they know the experience of Minecraft and our game specifically. So I trust their judgment. But I've also played Cubecraft and everything. So. Sorry,
it was just an example, is what I was saying. To truly understand your role. But you also work as with the partner team. I won't leak too much, obviously it's private, but obviously when I talk to you as a partner, or when I talk to someone being a Cubecraft partner, it's mainly you who replies with certain things. What is your role with the partner team then?
So my role in the partner team is mainly just the onboarding, so like the applications. Marco is more of just the general communications, because Marco Slater does he's the head of the partners, basically, the management, whilst we've got like other people in there which just do moderation and general support. But I'm in there whenever someone has an issue. I'm like, I either pass it on to someone or I'll deal with it. I don't mind. But yeah, I tend to just onboard people and bring them into the program.
And it's a bit like me with the shields issue, and honestly the change has been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hoping it sticks around. I don't know how the community is taken to it. I know like I have like one or two people who absolutely love shields, but then they also don't play Cubecraft, so I don't care. I love the change.
That was a big thing. I was just like, okay, like the first with the first thing with the shields on the 119 Java was like, okay, maybe I can just bring the durability down of shields and reduce access to wooden. And I thought, oh, do you know what, give it a shields. Let's just we're in beta, let's just get rid of shields and see what happened. We kept axes still, I think. And then I realized, what was it? The kits still had them. I'm like, oh, damn it, I forgot about the kits. So I had to change the kits next. But then, that's where you look in the changelog. It goes, remove shields, remove from kits. I was like, oh, whoops. Oh, what was it? You couldn't, then people started crafting shields. And I'm like, sneaky. Everyone's so sneaky. To
be fair, though, the crafting of shields wasn't too bad. I think my main problem was just getting it from chests. Like, if you're smart enough to think to craft it, then fair enough. But like, how have people taken? Actually, no, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyways, we'll get into that in a minute. I want to keep this like intro in because I like to keep things in sections. So we'll talk about that when we get to the Cubecraft section. Yeah, I don't want to jump the gun. But before we get into talking about you a little bit more, I haven't really given you the chance to introduce yourself. I know you've introduced yourself as Cubecraft or what you do, but is there anything else maybe you wanted to say about yourself, like general life or just who you are, or is that basically sums you up of what you want to say on the podcast?
I mean, that's my professional, I guess, profile, but my personal profile is how old am I? I'm 24 now. I'm 24. I just changed 24. I'm originally from Essex. I don't think I have that strong of an accent.
I can hear it a little bit.
Yeah, you can hear it. I don't think it's like
it's not bad.
What is it? What's the name? Gemma Collins. I don't think I'm as bad as Gemma Collins, but compared to like my family, I think I've got it pretty tame. So I'm originally from Essex, and then I moved up to Manchester, which I absolutely adore Manchester. And I don't really want to go back down to Essex. Sorry for everyone who's in Essex. I just throw it up here. I moved here at 18, so I changed 18, couple months, and then moved out straight away, which I think my mum and dad were pretty happy with. And I moved for Cubecraft, so I got the position and was just like, do you want to move up? I'm like, sure. So I moved out, got very lucky with that. What do I do in my spare time? I play games. Well, actually, I say that I don't really play as many games as I do now, because I get up at like, between 8 and 10, go to work, get home from work between, I don't know, maybe 6 to 10. Sometimes I stay at the office till like 2 a.m., which is quite bad. And then I get home and I have a massive list, a massive to watch list of TV shows and games, which I think in the long run, it's going to be about 2 to 3 years long. So that I try and balance between those. Oh, and I need to finish like other games like GTA. I wanted to play the Hogwarts game, but I haven't even started it yet. Like, it's a whole mess. But yeah, I try and balance myself between games and that. And I have a social life, which is quite uncommon for me. All my friends are Cubecraft related, but I absolutely love that. I'm fine with that. We just hang around each other's houses. We go out into Manchester, have a few bevies, and hang out. What else do I do? I love pets. When I say pets, I mean I don't have a cat or dog. I'm not a dog guy. I am a cat guy, but I wouldn't own a cat. I am a clean freak. I don't like mess. I have shoes off house. I don't like hair anywhere or dust. So it's, I think whenever they come around, they want to walk in with their shoes. I'm like, no, take them off now. And I used to own guinea pigs. Now at the Zyx office, I used to own hamsters, but they sadly passed away. But the office does now have a hamster, which I got in. So now we have an office hamster, which sadly when the guinea pigs pass, I do want to try and convince them to get either a dwarf rabbit or a hedgehog. I'm scheming when it comes to the office pets, but that's basically me. I love pets now. Depending on the pet, I do want to get fish though. I'll get that when I get that. Sorry, I'm rambling.
Oh no, it's I was just kind of laughing away because I think that is the best anyone has ever introduced themselves. I think I found out about your entire life story in the span of however many minutes you're taking, and I'm sure if there's I was gonna make a joke, but it's best I don't for the podcast anyways. But yeah, no, now you sold yourself really well, Cam. If I hope you have that same kind of energy if you ever go on a date or
oh yeah, like I'm very chatty, and I feel like I'm quite humorous and sometimes a bit dark humor. I am gonna say I can crack a joke, which is some people might not have a good sense of humor, but and I think this is also quite difficult to offend me as well. I can take a lot from people, especially from the position I'm in.
I mean, okay, if it's hard to offend you, I can make the joke then. I was gonna say that we're not on a date, we are on a podcast. So,
just very
no, honestly, that is honestly the best I think anyone, whenever I've asked them to talk about themselves, that is the best anyone has ever sold themselves on this podcast before. Fair enough, good. Cam. Fair enough. But with that said, that's the end of the inside. We'll move on to talking about your online presence now with a little cool transition. So. in all honesty, I could have probably ended the podcast there. I think that would have been about it if it was
pretty short.
Well, if it was talking about you, we kind of summed it up already. You know, it's lucky we were going to be talking about Cubecraft a little bit. You know, I mean, I was going to say I thought if that was in an interview, you would have got the job as well. So fair play, Cam.
That's good.
So we'll talk about a little bit about you, or your online presence kind of thing, and then we'll get into talking about Cubecraft. We'll be kind of mixing the both, talking about how you got into Cubecraft and stuff. But one question I like to ask everyone when they come on the podcast, well now anyways, I like to remember to ask is, where did you get your name from? So I'm going to assume, and I could be completely wrong here, that your real name is Cam or something close to it. But where did Cami Zonda, Came Zonda? How do you pronounce it? What's the idea behind it?
So it was originally because I started off on YouTube just doing skits and stuff, which you'll never see. All my YouTube videos are now private. But basically, it was I started a YouTube channel called Camazonda with an A, and then I was like, oh, I quit. So then I closed the channel down, and then I was like, okay. Then a couple months later, or maybe a year later, okay, let's remake the channel. Issue is you can't make a channel with the same name. I was like, oh damn, okay, let's do Cam E. Some people say Came Zonda, it's Cam E Zonda, so you split them up, Cam E Zonda.
Yeah.
So my real name is Cameron, or I like Cam, which I am planning on legally changing to Cam.
wait, sorry, say that again. Sorry, I missed that part. You said but your name is what, and you're legally changing it to what? Sorry.
My real name is Cameron, but
okay.
I'm gonna change it to Cam.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna legally change Cam, so that'll be.
Why not just have people call you Cam? I don't. Why go for?
I know some people say that. I want it in writing on legal documents that my name is Cam.
That's fair.
I know. I like whenever someone said Cam, it just feels more friendly. Which is why when everyone says Cameron, I'm like, ugh. I just get an ick, and
that's
I don't
fine.
Like it.
Yeah. I'll be sure not to call you Cameron then.
that would be good. But yeah, that's basically how I got my online name, and I think it was a mixture of Cam and then Adaconda, which was the A. So you know, Camazonda, but then it was taken. Well, it wasn't taken. I couldn't have it again. I was like, oh, let's go with E. So it's Camizonda. So I think that it's still the meaning of like the Adaconda is still there, but with an E instead of an A. But that's basically how I got my name, which I think I have everywhere in terms of like all the accounts. Which I think there's another Camizonda out there, which is pretty salty because I have all the accounts in Camizonda. So that might be.
They can always change their name if they have a problem with it, can't they? So.
Yes, basically.
Okay, so it's just that then. So so what? Like, is there any reason like your current name gives you the ick, or is you just don't like it?
Oh, I don't know. I just don't really like it. I don't know. It's one of those things. I'd rather not be called it. I just think Cam just sounds so friendly. It's weird though because I was never called Cam until I moved to Manchester. Like people online, so like even my friends at school never called me Cam, as far as I'm aware. But they've always called me Cameron. At the time I was fine with, but then I guess now I'm just like I'm used to Cam, so I want it to stay as Cam.
Well,
yeah.
Both of my nans, they didn't change their name, but they like my nan on either side of family, they both have like either their name short like you, or they just have like a different nickname of their name. Like neither of them are called by their actual name, so yeah, I guess it's similar to that. They just never got a legal name, they just kept their own name, but that like different. So so with that being said, with the whole Cam, people kind of started calling you Cam when you moved out to Manchester, which is when you also started working for Cubecraft. So Cubecraft is 10 years old now. You've been working with them for 6 years, which honestly fair play. You know, you got a job at 18 and you've stuck with it. Fair enough. So one of the questions was when did you start, but I've already answered that. So how did you get into working for Cubecraft? How exactly did that come to be? And like what like I kind of want to know everything. Like where did it start off, and have you grown? So I guess we'll kickstart with how did you get working with Cubecraft?
So I guess I'll start from the very beginning. So I started YouTube and then doing skits, and then I started watching Minecraft videos from Uberhaxanova, which probably wasn't the best influence because he was quite a PG-13 YouTuber, just playing Minecraft. And then Captain Sparkles, Syndicate, and then I got into just YouTube videos of gaming. I used to play GTA, Garry's Mod, Minecraft, and then I started an online group. Was it me who started? I think it was. No, maybe. I can't remember that. Called Unity, and Unity was we just got like creators and we just had a group and we just record together. And that's when I met someone called Lindsay, who used to be an ex-moderator called Circuit Syndrome, and she got me into she got me into Cubecraft. I used to play a server called Multicube, which is a server run by Syndicate.
This was on Java, just to be clear for the viewers, yeah?
Yeah, this was on Java.
Okay.
Who ironically, that's where Ginger Geek or Zed came from as well. Didn't know that until I moved up and all all that. So then that shut down, Multicube shut down. So then my friend Lindsay got me into Cubecraft in 2015. And I don't know why. I remember just playing Solo Skywars. Like it was at 30,000. I just played Solo Skywars. That's when it was like cube lag. I remember that time where everyone was cube lag or whatever.
What version was this? This was
1.78.
Okay, so it was the old combat.
Yes,
I thought
yes,
so. I was
definitely.
just double checking.
And then Lindsay applied for helper, got helper, and then I bought ranks. I got iron obsidian, and then I eventually applied for helper, got it, and then that was in 2016 July, and then a month later I got mod, and then 10 months later I got senior mod, and then I helped out with a little project we had things called scratchpad servers, which was what the admin team, or at the time the management team gave like the moderation team like little servers to play on. So then what we did was we planned to do a cosmetic update for them. They didn't know this. We were just making, and I was leading it with Yoya or Yamin, who used to be a designer, and we led that. And then I think they basically noticed it and was like, oh, that's cool. Do you want to come in and help do stuff? And I was like, sure. They brought me up into the office for 2 days. During those 2 days, I tested Bedrock, and this was Bedrock in 2017. So this was early Bedrock.
Early Bedrock days, yeah, when it was like,
and it was broken as hell.
Yeah.
it was so broken. I found like
had Cubecraft already been released on Bedrock at this time, or was it about to be released?
No. It wasn't out yet. Is it?
Okay.
This was in 2017.
When did Bedrock come
out? It came out in 2018.
Oh, so you were prepping for Bedrock? Okay.
Yeah, because we just had the 5-year anniversary on the 25th of April.
And you were one of the starting featured servers alongside Hive and Lifeboat. So I remember like seeing it somewhere in a previous video.
Yeah. So then I QA'd, and then eventually they were like, "Do you want to be the product manager?" And that was basically someone who decides the updates. And then eventually I became, I guess it was, I didn't have the title, but I became the project manager of all the updates. And then I became the executive producer of Cubecraft, where I decided to do everything. And then recently we readjusted because our team is smaller. We shifted into having 2 creative directors and having me as a release manager. So then that's basically how I got into Cubecraft.
So you've actually been, I know, like technically, I guess higher staff. I like to say I get helpers and mods of staff too, but I like to say the Cubecraft team, and then I like to say Cubecraft staff.
Yes, we don't call them. We don't like to call them staff. We say the team or a volunteer team.
Well, I mean, how I'm just going to say this for the sake of the podcast, so people know the difference. I'm going to call you guys a team. I'm going to call staff separately. Is what I mean. I know you guys call them all team, but I'm saying for the sake of people understanding, I'm just going to summarize it like this, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
Or is it, I mean, I guess I'll say volunteer team and a paid team then. Does that sound? I guess that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been working with Cubecraft for 6 years as like a paid team, but you've actually technically been working with them for 8 years, and 2 of the years were a volunteer team. Oh no.
I was a volunteer for 2 years, and now I'm an employee.
That's the one, employee. That'd be the word. Oh my god, I'm so out of it. Yeah. So instead of being so you volunteered for 2 years and you became an employee for you've been an employee for 6. So when you became an employee, you started off. What did you say it was again? Because you kind of muddled it all into one. When you officially became an employee, what was your position in Cubecraft?
I was the product manager.
Okay, and then they asked you to move up to Manchester.
Yes, they were like, "Do you wanna live here?" And I was like, "Sure." Then I moved in with one of our old devs, because everyone lived in like this flat complex.
I was going to say if you wouldn't mind saying about how that works. Is that you'd been 18 years of age? I can't imagine you had a large amount of money to be buying a house up there. So you moved in with people.
We were renting and got flats and stuff.
Has that changed a lot since then in the last 6 years?
Oh yeah, everyone else has their houses. I have my house and all that.
Oh, okay, so it's pretty fancy now. So do you live on your own then, or do you not? Do you live with any of the team, or?
Oh no, we all live on our own. Now we all got our own houses, and we just live separate, and we just hang around now and then. Every couple of days we'd go around each other's houses and just hang. It's pretty fun.
That's fair enough. So when you joined as a product manager, what was that like in like, I guess, simple terms for people like me? What exactly were you doing?
I basically just decided what updates went on to the network.
Oh, so it's kind of similar to what you do now, but a little bit. Or like it's more advanced
now the creative directors do that.
But I thought you said you decided if it was like good to go, if it needed changes.
Yeah, yes, I decide if it goes out, but at the end of the day, it's still the core of the creative direct. They want it, but unlike
Okay.
the quality, I can be like, no, let's hold off on it for a week, hold off. But the overall idea and the concept of the update is still with the creative directors.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, I was just getting it all a little bit confused.
It's fine.
So with like the Cubecraft office, like does everyone live in Manchester who works like as an employee? Is that how that works, or do a few people like work from home?
Yeah, no. So we got like 12 to like 10 to 12 people in the office, and then the rest are remote. They just splattered around everywhere, all around the UK. Yeah, I think we're all UK based. All the employees are UK based.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was
we can work from home, but choose not to.
because I remember when I was maybe about 2 years back when I was in my Cubecraft prime, I was coming up with all these ideas, and I remember making a joke about hiring me as an ideas manager. I mean, it's still on the table. If you're down, if you want to suggest it, I'll happily take a job as an ideas manager.
Ideas, man. I've never heard that one before.
I made it up because I just I just said like, oh, I'm thinking of all these amazing ideas. How about you hire me as an idea maker? Which is technically just suggestions on the forums, but I'd get paid for it, wouldn't I? So
Basically, it's the same thing, yeah.
no, it's not even basically like it is the same. It is like the exact same. But yeah, I mean that's pretty interesting. Like you moved up so quickly and then moved in, and then like you're happy now as well, I assume, like with the whole Cubecraft thing. Do you think this is like long term? Not to say like, you can never say if you're ever gonna move away from the job or whatever, but do you reckon you'll still be there for a good few more years now?
Oh yeah, I think Qcraft will go for another 10 years. Like it's going to go for a while. We might branch out to further than Minecraft, but at the moment we're just really focused on. I mean, I feel as a game studio, you want to branch out to other things, but
make your own game soon.
Server, so
because you seem happy. Talking about Qcraft though, you do seem like really happy and everything.
Oh yeah, like, I love my job and I think it's great. I'm very lucky.
So if Qcraft did make its own game, because there's Hypixel, Hytale, what do you reckon Qcraft would call it? Or has it already been discussed and you can't leak the name?
No, I'm trying to think. Like, and I think we do like RPG games, so like, it would be cool if we to make an RPG. But at the moment, we're just purely focused on Minecraft and just growing our Java network and just expanding that.
Speaking of Java network, let's transition into talking about Qcraft 1.19. Woo! Cool transition noise. Wow. Alright, so I actually technically this is part of it, but before we talk about 1.19, let's talk about why Cubecraft moved away from old combat. I'm not sure how much you can say in regards to this, but I'm pretty sure it will be public anyways, and I hope you'd know. Why did Cubecraft move into
1.9?
No, but why? So let's talk before 1.19. Let's talk about why Cubecraft moved away from 1.8 originally. So do you know like Hypixel is 1.8 and it flourishes?
Yeah.
Why did Cubecraft move into the new combat system in the first place?
So I wasn't at the company at the time, but I know it was a decision of someone else to do that. I'm not gonna drop any names, but it was a decision to someone else to do that, and they stuck with it. Which I personally was a fan of 1.8. I'm a fan of 1.8, which is why I like Bedrock. But yeah, I'm not really sure of the reasons, but that I know that someone did it.
So this was before your time then?
Yes, it was before my time, very much so.
Do you remember, was it like an instant jump into the new combat, or did they hold off for a little bit before moving on? Like, did they go instantly to 1.9 or?
I think they held off for like a month just for like the 1.9.1 and then 2. I think it was all those to come out, and then I think they just jumped it. Then they and then they were like, oh okay, maybe we should just add 1.8 support on 1.9, which isn't the best. But yeah, basically that was that.
Well, because I remember playing, like, once again back to 2 years ago, I was playing Cubecraft for a bit. Cubecraft was in a rut for a while on Java Edition, at least. Anyways, like, you had all these games which were good, like Among Slimes, you had Duels, you had like all these other stuff, but you just couldn't really get the players on the network. Whereas Bedrock, I mean, it's the most played server right now. So where exactly do you think, like, do you have any reason why maybe the numbers are so low? Because they've obviously gone up quite a bit since the 1.19 update. So if you notice, like, maybe like reflecting back, do you know why the player counts are so low, or were they just low?
I think I'm not really necessarily sure why they would be low, but I know that I think the majority of the Minecraft community would prefer 1.8 PvP. But I know that there is a community for 1.9, which at one point we were the biggest 1.9. I think maybe we still are the biggest 1.9 PvP server. But I think it's just my opinion that most people prefer 1.8. You know, I prefer it as well. But I do agree that we can't go back to 0.8. Like we would just drop so much content, and that's why we made the decision to just go to 1.19 and then just bite the bullet and go up, because you know there's only one way to continue growth, and that's just by continue supporting what Minecraft has to offer.
That's what people don't realize, and I've said it all the time on Bedrock Edition as well. Like when like Cubecraft maybe being flamed for something, you can only do as much as Minecraft lets you as well. So like with the whole upgrading to 1. Like say you're stuck on 1.8, half the things that you've done wouldn't exist because you wouldn't have been able to do it on Minecraft at the time. Like you're kind of like with like for instance like honey blocks. You couldn't have honey blocks on 1.8, or maybe you could, but like you got like, oh wait, no, you couldn't actually. If it was solely a 1.8 server, you couldn't, and that's when it leads to issues then. But with 1.19, you can now add like the honey block. Is it a lucky block map? I believe. Yeah, it is the honey block on lucky block. You wouldn't be able to have that map, and that's what people don't understand with the capabilities. I'd like to say with the whole PvP thing as well. I think my take on it. I was just curious to see yours. I think my take on the whole like growth thing is that 1.19 is becoming a lot more light now with like the release of like brand new other servers and all these tournaments. Like I was talking to I told you before the podcast I had someone on who owns a tournament previously, and that podcast is public, and I was like talking away to him, and I was saying like the thing is people are starting to like 1.19 a lot more, and like that's why tournaments are on 1.19, because the PvP, it's like with 1.8 it's cool PvP, but I personally feel like 1.19 is a lot more skill based. One of the reasons I moved away from Bedrock Edition, because I can't click fast and I don't really want to give myself carpal tunnel, so I mean, it's true though, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want to hurt my wrist or anything, so I moved away from like Bedrock 1. I like to call it Bedrock 1.8 PvP because that's what it's like, and like how you said it. And I moved into Java like slow hit PvP, and I think like that's why I enjoy Cubecraft Java a lot more than I do Bedrock, and I've openly expressed that to you guys know that anyway. So it's all I've been playing lately. I don't really play Cubecraft Bedrock. But yeah, I just wanted to see your take on things. But I guess talking about the Cubecraft 1.19 update itself. And if you had anything else to say, of course, about that. So, if you had your own.
Oh, like I definitely agree that the 1.9 PvP is definitely skill based. I just don't. I think the two different combats point at two different audiences. Like obviously,
oh, of course,
yeah. Like a 1.9 PvP is definitely for the older generation, whilst the 1.8 is definitely for the younger. Which is gonna be curious how, you know, this potentially future update of combat, which I think Mojang are postponing for a bit. I don't know what they're doing with it, but
which combines the both, doesn't it, or something?
Sorry,
does it combine the both or something, or?
I have no idea, but like I don't think they are ever going to be able to cater to both, because they're so drastically different, the combat system. I'm personally, I would love to have 1.8 back, but I know that it would impact a lot of the 1.9 servers. 1.8? No, 1.9 PvP servers. Yeah.
Might change everything, wouldn't it, really? But I think with, like I said it'd change everything, and I think with,
it would change everything, especially with how the game's playing.
And I think with Cubecraft Bedrock as well, especially, like, you don't really need Cubecraft Java to be 1.8, because I know Bedrock is a lot different to Java. Like, I think Bedrock feels a lot clunkier than Java, but people can, if they want that 1.8 PvP, just go and play Bedrock Edition. And I think that's why it has like 35, what was it? Well, no, it's only 35, like sometimes like 30,000 odd players, right? Cubecraft averages daily, which is just mental. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, talking about 1.19. So to refresh like your memory, I guess, and mine, we watched the 1.19 update video before we did the podcast. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? You said a bit something about like being awkward or so, or, you know, or funny. Or something.
It was fun because I remember just spending 2 hours in a room with Luke and Drew. Like I still think we should release the outtakes because there was so many, and some of it made the cut. But yeah, like there were so many outtakes, which maybe one day we'll just release all the outtakes, which we still got. But yeah, I remember just being in the room for 2 hours, saying a lot more dialogue than which made the cut. Because I remember the original video was 10 minutes and it was cut down. Yeah, and I just remember them just slowly putting things around us like toys. I remember the blind to our left was they pinned photos in it, and the issue is when you take the pins out, now you've just got little tiny holes in the blind, which is funny to look at. I'm like, oh dear. But yeah, it was fun just making that, and then yeah, I liked it.
and you know this is coming because I warned you before podcast and you didn't give me an answer. Talking about the whole toys and plushies and thing like that. A lot of people, especially when the update video came out, there was a lot of things like, oh my god, Cubecraft featured the Hive plushie in the background of their 1.19 update video. Oh my god, that's their rivals. I can't believe they're promoting their rivals. I didn't really care. I thought it was cool that you guys added it, but what exactly was the reason? Was that intentional? Did you just pick it up and thought, screw it, we want a plushie in the background, or was there any ideas behind it?
No, so what we were like, okay, we're doing a Minecraft video, we need Minecraft stuff in the background, and like Hive is a competitor, but we'll support our competitors now, now and then. Like, of course, we're gonna I think we bought like 6 of them. We have 6 of those bees around the office, 1 in each room. When they first came, they came in like a nice little cotton sack, and we would all took them out and we're like, oh, that's cool, these are cool plushies. So then we just put one in each room. So that one that was in the kitchen shot is the same one that's in is not the same one that's in the games room.
Oh, okay.
So we're like, just put it in the background, and all the little other little Minecraft things, which I think are mine, which I just left at the office. All the little toys. But yeah, like I love the bee plushie, so we just thought, let's just put it there.
There wasn't any lore behind it.
Sorry?
There wasn't any lore behind it. People were like in uproar, like, oh my god, I can't believe they kept this in. I can't believe they kept that in. And so it's just simply, we have this bee, we might as well have it in the background because it's a Minecraft bee.
But we have this bee, we're talking about Minecraft. This is a Minecraft bee. We have it, let's put it in the background.
And that's a free highlight. Thank you, Cam.
You're welcome.
It's free clickbait. Where's what?
Heard it here first.
Cubecraft hates Hive.
No, I did not say that.
No, because I remember talking to Alex about it, the owner of Galaxa, and the thing is, like, what people don't realize is that you're all friends, like, behind the scenes. Maybe you don't talk all the time, but like, I know that the owners of Cubecraft are good friends with the owner of Galaxa and the owner of Hive. Like, you guys have known, like, maybe not you, because obviously you weren't there from the beginning. Like, people, like, you have all known each other like for years. That's what people don't realize. They're like, oh, they're competitors, but behind the scenes, obviously I don't know much. But once again, I talked to Alex like a year ago about this. Maybe things have changed, but people are still relatively like cool with each other, I guess, from different servers.
Well, I think we have Slack channels, or that we share, and now and then when Minecraft like release certain things, we help each other with when it comes to the tech level. I know that I've seen some of them, like, we share stuff with other servers and they share it with us. Like, we'll share now and then. And now and then, whenever we might have an issue when it comes to community, we share that between each other. Like, we're all in the same boat, so we'll just we help each other out.
And people think there's always this big like, oh my god, Cam hates Splodger, and then no one's ever said this, by the way, just to be clear. Like, oh, Splodger and Cam hate each other because they work for rival servers. It's just like behind the scenes, you're probably just talking like, yeah, no, we're cool. Have you nice weather today? So But yeah, I guess talking more about the update video. So you were in the update video as well. You got your own talking segment. How was that?
A little bit. It was good. I slipped up a couple of times.
Yes, as shown.
There was definitely more slip ups than that. But I tried to keep my dialogue short. But a bit of it was cut. That's fine. Well,
you looked happy enough in the video as well, and like the video itself.
I got all the in-game. I also did get all the in-game footage, but
that was you who got that all.
Yes, because that makes sense because all of it's from testing sessions, which I led. So,
Yeah, so you just took it upon yourself to say, screw it, we'll get some...
I did. I was like, let's open OBS. Go.
So with that, with the 1.19 update, it's in beta right now. What was the idea behind it? I think I've kind of dragged it on long enough before asking. Why, well, obviously I was going to update to 1.19, but what's the deal with it being in beta?
So the original, I guess, the original plan of 119 was it was meant to go out like December, and then then January and then February. But then obviously we found it was such a technical challenge to update an entire network. We were just going to release it all together and go Java and Bedrock at the same time. And then we all thought, like, probably not the best idea. Let's just split them up. So let's do Java first. Technically, it's a smaller network, so it wouldn't impact as many people if there's loads of issues with it.
Yeah.
Which sounds bad, it's like, oh, it's a guinea pig. I mean, technically with testing, you have a testing ground. We have DevNet, but then it goes to prod, which is why we put it in beta. Put it in beta because we knew there were going to be some issues with it, because that's going to happen when you rewrite an entire network. So that's why we didn't want to put it straight on Bedrock, because we knew there'd be issues. We don't want to impact community, especially a community which is significantly bigger than another community.
Better?
So I know I don't want to say better. I mean bigger. And then so it's in beta. So the plan is release it on Java, patch all the issues, move on to Bedrock, release it, patch all the issues, and then after that, the birthday event can start. And then, hopefully this summer, we're looking for that.
Because the birthday event happened on Bedrock. I don't remember seeing it on Java.
5 years on the 25th, and we did I think on the 21st of December, 2022, which was the 10-year anniversary. We just did a little graphic.
Oh, it was 10 years in December. Why was I thinking it's 10 years recently? Wait, so when did Bedrock turn 5 years?
That was 25th of April.
Oh, that's what I'm getting confused with. Okay. Okay. So then you did that celebration. Because obviously with like Java and Bedrock, they're very different. For instance, we were talking about shields. Talking a little bit more about that now because I said I'd hold off on it. With the whole shields thing, it's how has that impacted the community? Have you gotten feedback about it? Do people like the idea? Because I'm not going to take credit and say I was the one who made it happen, but I obviously said it to you and I said like please it needs changing, and you went ahead and changed it. Like how has the feedback of that been?
Well, I know that whenever we added it, I remember seeing everywhere being like, just in the lobby when I was just in like Hidden or Nick, just someone being like, oh, remove shields. I just like, small comments, seeing it on threads, and even some partners shared their opinions on it. So we thought, okay, let's just do the thing. Let's just remove them and see what happens. And I think so far, from what I've seen, it's not as bad. I remember Luke as well playing it. They didn't like the shield, so I think they wanted them gone as well. So win-win. Made Luke happy, made community happy, as far as I'm aware. At the moment, I don't think we have any plans to revert that change, but
anything can happen. Because I will admit, back in the past, I remember getting like a warning or so for it. Or not really a warning actually. Like I remember someone talking to me about it. I wasn't the best at like expressing my opinions on stream, but then I was also younger. I'm 20 years of age now, so I've grown up quite a bit. But like back in like the day when I used to be Cubecraft partner, I used to like express my opinions in a rude way on stream, as you may or may not remember. And it's fine if you turn around because I like very much. Oh, you don't? It wasn't really bad. I just like basically say stuff about the server, and it wasn't anything like malicious, but I just openly, instead of turning around and giving you feedback privately, I'd kind of say it on stream where like no one's gonna listen, kind of thing. Even then on streams, I was kind of just toxic, anyways, and I talked about that in a previous podcast. But with like the shields thing on stream, I was like, and this was the line, and it wasn't anything like toxic towards Cubecraft. That's what I mean about how I've improved. I said the thing is, and I could be completely wrong in this. It's just what I saw with Cubecraft. I said the only reason that Cubecraft have added shields to 1.19 is because it's trendy, and that was my take on it. And I'm not saying that's how you guys felt about it because you removed it. I was just saying I felt the only reason that shields were added in the first place is because that's the thing. Like, oh my god, every server has to have shields or that kind of stuff. So Cubecraft
I guess you could say that. Yeah, I think you could say that was probably it. Like the same with we were like, oh, the feature's there, let's add it. The same reason we added spyglasses in Skywars.
Bro, why?
Think about it,
everyone has zoom. What was the
point?
No
one needs them. It's Skywars. No one needs zoom
because they're sitting in Lucky Islands, and it's so funny. I'm like, every time I'm like, oh yeah, this is helpful.
But like, I think in Lucky Islands, I feel like it's pretty better in Lucky Islands because it's like a random thing. No,
it's just funny. Like, don't remove it. It's funny, please.
It's funny. But in Skywars, it just fills up your inventory, takes up a chance in the chest. Like it was just inconvenient. Like as well, we put bundles as well, which I don't think actually went out. We had bundles in chests, and then we thought
bundles. What do you mean?
So Minecraft has bundles, like a little sack thing you can put items in it.
Do they?
Yes, it's a like an experimental feature, but we had access to it.
Oh, it's like a backpack.
So, yes. So we added that into Skywars, and then during testing, we were like, this is stupid. Why we need this?
Why do we need extra inventory space?
Yeah, it's an extra. Yeah, like no, it just took an inventory space. Like it didn't really make sense. So we just removed it in testing. But I mean, the spyglass would have gone with it, but I think we kept it longer than we should have. But now the spyglass is gone, and now shields have as well. Which, to be honest, when I look at other 1.19 servers, they don't actually have shields. From what I've seen, they just have axes. Which, fair enough. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. There's a reason they don't have shields, probably because they're OP. Which was also quite confusing to me as well, because shields existed on the previous server, like our previous version, but no one really made a big fuss about it. So I was confused. I was like, how comes no one complained that shields before? Did they change between 1.19 and 1.12, or 1.9? I don't.
Well, it's like I'm saying with you as well. Like Cubecraft for a period, from what I see, anyways, was in a bit of a bad state. But like with the 1.19 beta, Cubecraft Java, and I'm not sure how the numbers reflect on this, but it's from what I see personally. 1.19 has blown up compared to like Cubecraft on like a few months back. Like I personally have seen like a massive change in Cubecraft numbers, etc. And I think it's more of like a community now turning around and being like, from what I'm aware, shields haven't changed, and I've never really liked shields. But I think it's just like people are more like, I guess if you say other servers don't have shields, people aren't really used to it. So it's just like, why is, because I mean my thing to you, and I said it to you like with the feedback, which I think my feedback was alright. I think you know how I am as well, how I can be. So I think it came off like you understood it anyways. But
yeah, definitely.
I said like it was just a bit silly sometimes when I'd be in a fight and someone would put their shield up every time I went to swing for them, and then the counter, and it's just like, do we just have to sit there holding our shields up and then someone comes and cleans us? Like, so that's why I'm glad they've been removed anyways. And then obviously spy glasses with them, because what's the point? What's the point?
It's also quite heartbreaking seeing like someone spam click on 1.19 because they've obviously come from a server which is 1.8, and I guarantee there are so many people in Minecraft that don't know 1.9 PvP exists because the only servers they play on are 1.8, so they probably don't even know it exists.
It happens on every server though. I've seen it on like other servers.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen it on other servers, but it's like they come from 1.8 servers and they go, Bedrock. Spam clicking, and then why am I dead? It's like, because you're spam clicking. Why? Because this isn't the spam click.
Well, because I originally thought, do you know how like when you're holding sprint and it makes that like kind of noise or whatever, it doesn't make that noise, but you know what I'm on about. I originally thought that was critting, and then people told me, wait, no, that's not critting, you have to see the things come out. I was like, oh, just because it made that noise, I thought that was like the strongest hit. But I've learned how to combo anyways. With Cubecraft Bedrock, last time I checked, Cubecraft Bedrock also had shields, or am I incorrect in saying so?
I think Bedrock, I think shields aren't even on Bedrock. I
could have sworn one time a day Bedrock had shields.
They might have added it, but I do remember like shields just didn't exist. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, because I know Bedrock has shields, like actual Minecraft Bedrock, but I think so anyways.
I'm gonna look this up. But yeah, like to my knowledge, I don't think we have shields.
Okay, so that never mind that then. So I was gonna say, are they getting removed as well? But I guess if they never had it, then that's my bad. I just thought Bedrock had shields, so I could be wrong then. I guess still talking about 1.19 here as well. You said about the inspiration for the update, etc. I guess talking leaks, you've had enough time now to think about a leak here that you can maybe say. And like I said, you can always turn around and say nothing. Is there any... Oh, actually, no. Actually, before we talk about leaks, I do have a question, actually. And I'm glad I remembered this before I forgot. With like other games that you had on the Cubecraft network, like Among Slimes, and you had the random games like survival games and Line Dash and like Duels and stuff. Why did they all get removed? Was it because like you were splitting the player base too like thin, or?
Yeah, so it was more of the games which were remaining, or the games which were removed, they had poor start times, and they also just, when you're a new player, you're split, you have a choice of like 10 games rather than, so what our idea behind it was, if you join the server and there's like 5 games, you're going to play one of those 5 versus 10, which you don't want to dilute you don't want to dilute that player so much, because you want to be able to have games start faster. So then that's why we removed, we removed Solo Egg Wars games wouldn't start it off peak, which is a poor experience. Sorry, pardon me, a poor experience. So that's basically what we did. So we removed games which didn't have a good start time during off peak, and even on peak, some of them didn't have good ones. So that was that. And we also dropped down the amount of maps, just so it was just less variety. So you have maps where you can just see and get used to.
I really wish Cubecraft Java still had survival games. I remember playing it at one time, and I was so bad at it, but I feel like now I'd be so good at it. And it's so sad because I miss it. And Among Us was quite fun as well. But like, so those games, like, say I turned around and said I want to play it tomorrow. Obviously, you're not catering towards me. But would you be able to kind of just add it back, or would it have its own issues coming back now?
It wouldn't actually physically be able to come back because it hasn't been updated to our framework.
Say it had been. Sorry, let's say it had been.
It's hard to think about that because we wouldn't change. We wouldn't put the resources into adding a game which we didn't know who we were going to add back, or for one person. But if it was, could just turn it on. Yes, theoretically, but can't because it hasn't been. Like, for example, we can turn on old maps. You know, we could put on trees and sort of Sky Wars. Like, that's easy to do because it's a map, not an entire coded game. Which is why some people are like, oh my god, I can't wait for Magic and Mayhem to come back. Can't, because it hasn't been updated. Like, oh, where's Among Slimes? Can't. But yeah, that's.
I was actually going to ask what happened to Magical Mayhem, but I think maybe we can save that for another time. Or maybe you can just tell me off the podcast. I don't want to, because we're talking about Java 1.19, I don't want to confuse too much. And that's like more of a Bedrock thing. Oh no, Magical Mayhem was also on Java Edition, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, there was on.
Oh god.
On both.
Okay, why did it get removed then?
It was only a seasonal event. It was only for like summer.
I remember you saying this to me. Yeah.
Only temporary. Same with the spring RPG.
Oh, it wasn't you who said this to me, or someone else who said this to me. I won't say who. They didn't tell me anything like private. They basically told me the same thing you did. But it was just like dragged out. It was meant to be a season thing, but then people liked it, so you kept it around. But now it's gone, right?
Yes, it's not around anymore. I mean, like things. There is still aspects of it. Like there's the buddy pack on Bedrock, Magic and Mayhem, or like all the mobs.
I was quite fun that Magical Mayhem. I kind of enjoyed that. I didn't play it loads, but I did enjoy it when I played it. I do kind of miss it a little bit, but
I like the spring RPG. That was my favorite.
Oh, the Easter Bunny one.
Yeah, was it? I don't know why. Just making it and getting it made and just testing it. It was, for me, it was really cool and just polished, because I don't know why, it was just clean and I just loved it.
I speed ran videos on that. I mean, I always do with the Easter egg hunt, but they've all stopped now. The egg hunt, the present hunts and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah.
Was that because of me? Did you just see I was farming so much money from it? You was like, screw this guy, can't keep giving him free income.
No, it's because it was like we needed to make sure our resources went towards a 119. It's the same reason like Lunar and soon to come Spring isn't gonna have the hunt, because all our focus is on 119.
Ugh.
So that's why. But in the future, they'll be back.
Well, if you bring it back, that's like 100-200 quid a month free. I openly said it as well, because I remember I back in the last Christmas one that you did, it caused quite a lot of problems with Cubecraft players and content creators. They weren't too happy with me because they were like, "Oh, you're only doing it for the money." I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, I mean,
I might have to make the dev. I might make the dev just code it so you physically can't get 20.
Oh no, it's fine.
Or all of them are invisible to you.
All of them are invisible. I'll just make it so that when I upload the video, they actually will change locations.
Oh, that'd be cool. It's just like each lobby is different.
That'd be a cool thing. And stop people speedrunning making videos on it, because it's free for stuff. I have openly said that before, anyways. I'm not ashamed. So
I'm actually gonna write that down. That's a good idea.
There you go. You're welcome. Or maybe just like
idea manager right here.
Exactly, idea manager. Pay me, come on. Fair play, that was a good one. I wrote that. I mean, even if it's not like randomized every lobby, you could just do it like it's randomized daily or anything. Just even if it changes locations a tiny bit, or even if just one of them changes locations.
I'm just thinking of the way that we set up our lobby is like it's like config based. We can just place them everywhere. It's the same as like the relic hunt. We just go around the lobby and just plot them everywhere. We could just do that with all the head hunts, and then each time the lobby starts up, it chooses 25 of them. Done.
Exactly. Now we don't know. I mean, then I'd have to figure out where every single location is.
Oh yeah, like there'd probably be like 200 egg locations or whatever they are.
Well, if you do end up doing that, please let me know, because I don't want to speedrun making a video and then it turns around that you've actually done 200 random locations. So, please save me some trouble.
I think it'd be fun not to tell you.
No, I don't. But yeah, I guess moving away once again from that, because I do miss survival games and stuff like that. Talking about things that have gone like walkies. I remember one time a day you guys had private games on Java 1.19 as well. But obviously with not 1.19 on Java Cubecraft, but obviously with the new update it disappeared. How exactly or why exactly is that gone then as well?
I remember, so private games originally started because Among Slimes were private games, and then we made a bet with the dev to go, hey, I bet you can't make private games in a day. I'll give you 50 quid.
Oh,
they did it. They did it. They made it. Lost 50 quid. I think it was Drew that actually made that bet, but they made the game, the private games. It obviously wasn't completely stable. It was just, it was a basic version. It worked. So when it breaks, it's like, oh, okay, what are we going to do with this? So I think at the moment we just kind of let it break, because we knew we were going to go back at some point. In the future, like we're going to have, we're going to try and look at doing private games, because it helps partners and just everyone else play the games with their friends. But again, at the moment we're just focusing on 119. But yeah, that's the main reason why they just stopped working.
And then is there any plans to add them to Bedrock Edition? I think I made my video about 3 years ago now, talking about will Cubecraft ever add private games, and it still hasn't been added. So
well, I think mentioned in the video we watched at the start, it's the 119 update isn't just updating both of them. It's making both of our networks simultaneously on the same code base.
Yeah.
So whenever we can update Java and Bedrock at the same time, because normally what we used to do is update Java and they have to convert it to Bedrock, do all the testing, etc. Now we can just do it on Java, put it to Bedrock, maybe fix 1-2 bugs, done. So you're saying that, if you wanted survival games, I'm saying it's not converted. Technically, it's not converted yet. As soon as it goes on Bedrock, technically it can go on Java. It's the same code base. It's the same like framework. It's all the same with that. But that's that. So maybe in the future, private games, we could. I'm not. This isn't like facts. I'm just trying to pull something out of my my head here. Like maybe we could do something like that because it's all in the same framework. That was the idea. It was easier to have games be made and just supporting. So maybe in the future we could have private games to have survival games. Or Minerware or whatever on Java because it'd be on the same stuff.
Crap, I remember Java Minerware. I kind of forgot that I actually did that. That one disappeared.
Oh, I remember Battlezone. I loved that game.
I never played Battlezone.
Loved Battlezone. It was basically, I think it was like Quakecraft with Battle Royale.
I remember the Christmas one, the Christmas game. Not the Snowman one, the other one on Bedrock Edition. I loved that one as well. That was really fun.
Snow and Survival or Snowdown?
No, it wasn't either. It's the one on Bedrock Edition, the one where you get the walls and stuff. You had to build the base, like Clash of Clans.
Oh, Colony Control.
That's the one. I enjoyed that. But it was only really good with a team. That was the issue.
Yeah, it was a bit like, I remember we did that and it was kind of like a spontaneous idea. Let's just do it and see what happened. And I think the concept was good. I think it was just quite a complicated game for.
It was just too team based.
And that, like, you needed to be in a call. You needed to communicate. But yeah.
I guess now, since we talked about the past and the present, Cubecraft 1.19, let's talk about the future. Back to what I was originally going to get into. You got any leaks for us, Cam or Camies Onda? You got anything that you can, maybe a new game, maybe a new update, maybe, I don't know, maybe an Insane Orbitzz.
I can't say like new
pack?
games, but I know that, like, as I said on the 119 video, that having this after the birthday update, it'd be easy game, update our current games, make new games. I can say as a small leak that we do have multiple bundles in the works. It's not going to say what they are.
Insane Orbitzz bundle?
Sorry.
Insane Orbitzz bundle in the works, maybe?
Oh, I don't, maybe it might be one of those, but I'm not going to say what they are.
Manager.
But, yes, but
creator codes for Java,
I've seen some of the concepts. I might tomorrow ask Luke to see if he can send me a GIF. And if I send it to you, so if it's in your video, I got it, but I'll ask them to give you a little leak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about I guess another idea that I had as well, like future. Do you reckon, and once again, you might not be able to answer this, but I'm just curious anyways. Hypixel added the idea of creator codes. Don't really know what I've done, but I added them. Is that anything you think Cubecraft might ever add? Or nah? Like Java Edition, definitely not Bedrock. It'd be a bit hard to implement with Microsoft being greedy. But like on Java Edition, like if someone obviously goes to like buy Obsidian rank and they slap Insane Orbitzz in there, do you think that's maybe something you'd ever add?
I know the feature exists on our payment like wall. In terms of I wouldn't be able to say yes or no. That wouldn't really be my call. But I can't really say yes, sadly. Or
well, that's
no.
fine. That's fine. I said I wasn't sure. Anyways, I was just trying to dart to see if you could say anything maybe about it. But that's fine. I wasn't expecting to know anything anyways. But yeah, Cam. Unless you have anything else to talk about in regards to Cubecraft or yourself or anything.
Not that I think. No, if you don't have anything else, I think that's everything from me. I think everyone knows who I am.
Yeah, after the big introduction. Yeah. Well, see, normally I'd ask Twitter questions, but the issue is you didn't retweet tweet. I mean, you don't retweet the tweet. No one sees the tweet, and that means when no one sees the tweet, they don't ask Twitter questions.
Did you also retweet the tweet?
Yeah, just people normally just do it when I tag them. It's just common decency, Cam. Next time.
Our Twitter bot's down because
I tagged you. I tagged you.
You tagged me?
You.
Oh, I thought you mean you tagged Cubecraft.
I tagged both.
I'm never logged in on my personal. So I'm always logged on the Cubecraft one.
Wait, if I'd asked Cubecraft, would they have retweeted it?
I don't know. Probably not. No.
Okay, well, that's fine. I tried my luck. Well, yeah. I mean, even then, since I mean, there was a Twitter question, but it's just asking what I've already asked you anyway. So, but Cam, you've been, and I've actually really enjoyed this podcast. I don't know if you did, but I've had a lot of fun as well. And I don't know, the conversation has really flowed. I think like half the time I just kind of normally I have like certain questions and stuff to ask, and it's like sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm struggling, but I feel like this conversation has just flowed really well.
Yeah, it's like that's why I like the community event we did long ago. Like I'm trying to encourage everyone else to continue doing them, so we can just have a stage. Everyone joins it now and then. We bring in someone to talk or creator, and they can just ask questions, or we can play games with them and stuff. I'm trying to convince people that it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, hopefully this podcast does that. Maybe if people see it, they might be like, oh, actually, I have a few questions I want to ask him. Well, ask them. Sorry,
if you get enough questions, I don't mind doing a pod. Basically.
Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe if you retweet the tweet, maybe we'll see. anyways. So. But yeah, Cam, where can people find you, or where I like to let people promote themselves, or maybe promote Cubecraft. It's up to you. A little promotion segment at the end of the podcast.
As in like where they can find me on socials.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to promote yourself, you want to promote Cubecraft, maybe you want to promote both, maybe that old YouTube channel that's private videos. It's up to you. Whatever you want to promote.
Probably my Twitter. Like, you can
You're
say
not
on
logged
there.
into.
Sorry.
The one that you're not logged into, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one actually. Okay, maybe the Cubecraft Twitter. I'm tend to be on that.
Okay, the Cubecraft. It's just Cubecraft Games, all right.
Yes, it is.
So that's nice and easy to find, and they follow me as well. Let's go. Got my follow back.
That wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Well, I'm just happy that I got my follow back, so I'm not complaining. Well, Cam, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and stopping building your Lego set to come and be on the
you're very
podcast.
welcome.
I've really appreciated it, and like I said, this is one of my favorite podcasts I've recorded. It's always nice when the conversation flows. It makes life a lot easier, But yeah, this has been the Inside Minecraft podcast. I pretty much everything you need to know about Cubecraft 1.19 update. If I missed anything and you guys want to comment, if you're listening on Spotify, go to YouTube and comment, but carry on listening on Spotify. If you have any questions, and if I find anything good, I can maybe ask Cam to reply to them if they feel. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Peace.